Well, thank you to our viewers tuning into another CSE listed issuer update. I'm Anil Mall, representing the Canadian Securities Exchange. And today we're talking to Jonathon Deluce. Jonathon is the CEO of Abitibi Metals, of course, trades on the CSE. The symbol is AMQ. Jonathon, thank you so much for taking the time today. I hope you're well.
Yeah, well, we're doing great. We appreciate having us here today. It's a very exciting time for the company and very excited to provide an update.
Before we jump into the region, let's talk a little bit about Abitibi Metals. What is your focus with this company?
So we've really, I think we're at the end of a very transformational year. We set out at the beginning of the year with our prior flagship asset at Beschefer. We were in a tough market, but the nice thing about tough markets is it allows for large opportunities. So we really, at the beginning of the year, we sought out, okay, it's a tough space in the gold sector at the moment. We need a home run asset to push through these market conditions, allow us access to lower cost of capital, and really position for what we believe is a very explosive commodity market that's going to come. Timing is hard to say, but opportunities like we've announced this week or last week are not around in those markets. So we're very excited about the recent transaction that we announced, and it's been a very exciting year leading up to that point. And I'm looking forward to talking more about what exactly we've announced.
You know what? Before we go into the region, why don't we just talk about your recent announcement? Because we don't want to leave everybody hanging, and I'm sure you and your team are quite excited with this accomplishment. So I'm going to let you talk to us and educate us a little bit on what just transpired.
Yeah, no, we're as I mentioned, we really sought out a large opportunity to push through these current market conditions. So we looked at a fair number of assets, and as we told the market in October, we were looking for an asset that either had a resource, was near resource, or a historical resource that we could really build a serious company around, move towards an asset that would stand out in this current market conditions. And I believe that we've been able to accomplish that with the B26 deposit. So the B26 deposit is a polymetallic deposit that is within 7 kilometers of our current Beschefer project. So this is a polymetallic deposit that was developed by Soquim, who's a private company funded by Investment Quebec. So we're the first junior mining company, public junior mining company, that has been able to acquire an option on this asset. So really, we view this as a discovery and an acquisition in the fact that this asset was largely unknown to the market. It hasn't been publicly valued in the past, and it contains a 2018 resource with an indicated category of about 6.97 million tons at just under 3% copper equivalent, and an inferred category of 4.41 million tons at just under 3% as well. So we're excited. You need these high quality assets to develop and build a serious junior mining company, attract the top talent and top investors in the space. And we're excited to get our story out and prove to the market that we've been successful in that.
I want you to talk a little bit about the Abitibi region itself, and for us that are in the mining space, we're aware of the historical value of being in that region. But for in layman's terms, maybe if you can want to go into the background and why this area is such significance.
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate to be operating in such a strong mining jurisdiction like we are on the Quebec side of the Abitibi. So the Abitibi is one of the most mineral endowed mining jurisdictions in the world. It's produced over 200 million ounces of gold across the region. And really, we're in the upper Abitibi on the east-west of the Detour mine owned by Agnico Eagle. So I believe that this is a district that is going to see a lot of exploration expenditures in this upcoming gold and commodity bull market. So you look at the Cadillac break through Rouen, Noranda, Val-d'Or, Quebec, And you look at the amount of discoveries and mines and production that have come out of that region. And I think the northern Abitibi near the historical South Bay mine, B26, and we're 30 kilometers to the southwest of Walbridge's Fenelon Gold Deposit. This is a region that I think is very underexplored, but a region that will see a lot of investment in this upcoming cycle. And that's why we're excited to be there. And lesser known, well, I guess known as well, besides the gold in the Abitibi, it is endowed with some very large VMS polymetallic deposits, just like we have at the B26 project. So that's where, in addition to gold, we have copper, zinc, and silver, which is really helps with the demand for critical minerals. And there's lots of incentives in Quebec to explore for those projects. So it's just scratching the surface of the many reasons why we're excited to be in the Abitibi and specifically in Quebec.
Well said, Jonathan. Now, while we're on this topic, let's talk about, obviously this is a region of great historical value. There's a lot of significance. Infrastructure is already there. What makes you and your team stand out from some of your peers that might be in the same region?
So I think one of the biggest things is we've pushed through this market conditions. We've limited dilution. My management team, myself, family office has largely funded the company through these tough times. So we're really well aligned with our shareholders, having the large insider ownership that we do, which is over 50% of the company, which really stands out amongst our peers. So instead of waiting for the market to come to us, we've been very aggressive to open up opportunities that are only available in tough markets. But really, we're doing that to position the company for when the market comes back, which it's just a matter of time, especially in these current economic and interest rate environment. The demand for commodities, we're confident, will come. It's just a matter of time. But we've positioned the company and our shareholders to benefit from that resurgence in commodities like copper and silver and zinc and gold. So it's exciting. In terms of our team, it's our advanced exploration is led by Martin Demers, that has had prior success being a senior geologist that developed the Casa Berardi mine 40 kilometers to the south of where we're working today. But as I mentioned earlier in the interview, you need to have potential world-class assets to attract a world-class team. So right now, we're not just sitting back on this acquisition. We're working on assembling a very high-quality advisory team, and we're hoping to announce that to the market over the coming weeks and months.
Perfect. Now, I want to dial it back a bit and talk a little bit about your background, Jonathan. How did you get into this space?
So my family, the majority shareholders of the company, have been in the mining space for the last 25 years. We've been mostly a private prospect generator, which has led to having a royalty portfolio across Canada. We were strategic shareholders and board members of numerous listed companies over that period. But we really made a decision back in 2018 when I founded Gold Seek Resources, which has now been renamed to Abitibi Metals, that we would build a company and found a company from scratch to put our capital and expertise behind a company for this commodity bull market cycle, which we think we're in the early stages of. So we've made a lot of ground, a lot of development since creating the company and going public on the CSE in 2020, and we're very excited with Thursday's developments and where that we believe will project the company and our growth profile over the coming months and years as a result.
Jonathan, you mentioned a couple of milestones like additions to your technical team as well as to your team in general. Are there any other milestones you're able to talk about that our viewers and investors can look out for in let's say the first half of 2024?
Yeah, we have a very busy catalyst schedule, and really part of the next coming months is to get our story out there on what is a very unknown asset. The B26 is a significant discovery in the Abitibi that SOQUEM has done an excellent job in developing, but it hasn't had the awareness of being in a public company up until now. So we're very fortunate and appreciate the trust of our partners at SOQUEM to allow us the opportunity to showcase what we believe is a world-class asset. So we have lots of news to come out to highlight our exploration plan and what historically is there at the B26. We're getting into a drill program of minimum 2,750 meters starting very early on in January. So we're going right into this. We're not sitting back and waiting, but we're being aggressive to really test out some high priority targets, which will be some infill where we want to outline the open pit bulk tonnage potential at the asset. But really, we're going to outline that in detail for our shareholders, for our followers over the coming weeks. But we are excited to get into a drill program right away, that we are funded for that 2,750 meters as of today.
Got it. Now, as always, we encourage our viewers to go to your website, do their due diligence, read up on your press releases, obviously sign up for your upcoming news. And we encourage them to also reach out directly to you and your team should they have questions. Where would you like to direct our audience?
Yeah, investors are, we welcome investors to visit abitibimetals.com and the email is info@abitibimetals.com. We're happy to address any questions that the investors, listeners, any of the following have. We're very excited about these updates, and we're confident that we have a lot of developments to come. This is a period of getting our story out, and we welcome any questions, or if anybody wants to have a chat with us, we're always available. And we're just very excited to commence this new transition within the company.
I appreciate you taking the time to not only educate myself, but our viewers a little bit about the focus of the company. Our team at the CSE wishes you and your team nothing but success as you move forward with this new project. And of course, Jonathon, we look forward to hosting you on again, let's say maybe around PDAC, where we can talk a little bit about some of the recent news that your team would have announced in 2024.
Yeah, no, we're excited for that. We appreciate your time and the CSE for having us on today. And I think PDAC will be excellent time to review our initial assays back from our maiden Abitibi run program. So I think will be great timing to have another conversation.
Great. To everybody watching and listening, I've been talking virtually with Jonathon Deluce. He is the CEO and director of Abitibi Metals Corp on the CSE under the symbol AMQ. Jonathon, thank you once again for your time, and you have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.